Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vlogtober day 18. Boo, where are you? Ready to go? Let's do it. Okay, come on. Good boy. So it's not the best of mornings, but it's a step up from yesterday, so I'll take it. Still a little windy, a little chilly, but not quite as bad as yesterday, and obviously there's no rain. But the main reason I wanted to bring you guys along this morning is to show you all the differences in the trees, because it's been probably more than a full week since we've been on the trails with you guys. I've been a couple of times without, and I forgot the camera. Oh, you can probably hear that wind, but it's crazy how much has changed. So already you can see, I mean, there's so many more colors than there used to be. These were all green the last time we were here. And these are the same trees we have in our yard. And they seem to change colors later. They turn brown a little bit later in the season, whereas the yellows and the oranges and the reds, they start a little bit earlier in October. Boo's happy to be out again because couldn't go yesterday due to all the excess rain. So he's got all the rain smells this morning. Definitely adds a bunch of new smells because it kind of flushes everything around on the ground and then gets kind of all these new smells going. Hey buddy? Just a beautiful, dreary kind of fall morning. It's about 8 o'clock right now because we have to start coming a little bit later because at 7:30 when, you know, between 7:30 and 7:45 when it used to come, it's still a little too dark. So we have to start coming a little bit later every morning. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving Boo off his leash when it's a little bit too dark. I mean, he doesn't run away, as you can see, like he always stays really close, but on the off chance he sees like a squirrel or a rabbit and takes off, I would not want to lose him in the dark. Come on, buddy. Okay, so it's a little windy. Hopefully you guys can still hear me okay. This little muff thing on top of the camera usually helps out a lot. But this is what I really wanted to show you guys. If you remember from about a week ago, a little more, I filmed this spot saying, look how green it still is, and over the weeks you're gonna see how much it changes. Look at this. Look at all the different shades here in the grass, in the bushes, in the trees. It's insane how much just over a week things can change. I may have deleted that old footage off the SD card. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If not, I'll probably screen record the video that I talked about it in so I can put them side by side to compare. But it's insane the difference here. It's just so cool that like nature can create all these colors out of nothing.
You guys, it has been one of those mornings where I literally have not, oh my god, Boo's so cute. He's literally lying on Dan's clothes. I'm still wearing my pajamas. I haven't even changed. I washed my face and that was it, and brushed my teeth. I've been working all morning. I edited 4 videos today. That is for me an accomplishment because I honestly didn't even think I was gonna get through 2 and I just powered through it. It's currently probably around 12:30. Wait, let me just check. Oh, I'm wrong. It's 11:30. Wow, I actually did really well. So 4 videos that are ready to go up on my main channel. I don't want to post one yet this weekend because I wanted to do my interior decorating video for this weekend, which that isn't even finished uploading. Not uploading, editing. Wow, I can't speak. I haven't even finished editing that one yet because the other ones I wanted to like get done because they were kind of like harder to edit. And the way that my dad has always taught me to do things were in order of like the hardest then to the easiest, or the thing you want to do least, do that first. So throughout school, he always said like, if you have 4 things due over the weekend, whatever is the hardest or the thing you want to do the least, do that first, and then like go down the list like that, because the last thing will be the easiest and the most simple to do, and you just get more motivated that way. So I've always kind of done things that way. So the video that I didn't want to edit at all, I did that one first and then kind of just went down the list, and the last thing I have to do is the interior decorating one, but I have to go through like I think 2 different SD cards because I filmed on different cameras and like throughout different times, so I have to find them all, which is like the most complicated. But then once all the footage is there, it's like super easy to edit. But I'm gonna take a break right now. Dan this morning went to the gym and then ran a bunch of errands. My friend Catherine is supposed to be coming over today. It might not happen just because she's super busy. Catherine like literally works more than anyone I know. She has like a million jobs. She has one career, but she just works a lot of jobs because her career isn't like a 9 to 5. She's an athletic therapist, so like she works with sports teams and she travels with them and she goes to games and stuff, and she also works at a clinic. So there's just a lot of things that she does, and her schedule is always all over the place, and finding a day off for her is so hard. And so she thought she was gonna have today off, and then she actually realized that she had a game later today that she has to go to, and she had practice this morning, and then she was supposed to go for brunch with some. It was just like there's a lot going on. So I told her like no pressure, she does not need to come over. Like, we can always hang out another time. Like, I don't want to like stress my friend out, do you know what I mean? But it would be really nice to see her because I miss her. And then tonight Dan has his friends coming over. Not really, they're like our mutual friend, I guess. Our friend from swimming from like growing up, him and his wife just got married and we're having them over for dinner. They are not camera people, so we are not going to be filming that just because they are not on social media like at all. So that unfortunately we are not going to be filming. But if Catherine does come over, we can film with her, and I'm just like trying to get the work done so I don't have to do it for the rest of the day. But that kind of sucks because I'm not like able to vlog properly. But I really wanted to like shower and get changed just because I'm like done editing. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to like get like clean and then have lunch and then maybe sit back down and do like one last video and then be done for the day, because that's gonna feel really good and like motivating if I'm just finished. And I know Dan has a lot to do today too, work-wise, and he's gonna start cooking. He wants to do like a big stew, and there's just, when on days where we have a lot planned, this is a really rambly video by the way, but when on days that we have a lot planned, it's hard to really find interesting content to film. And this is why people that like daily vlogs struggle, because they feel like they need to like do something interesting in order to like get content. But for us, we're kind of just like whatever, like we'll film boring shit. If you guys don't like it, you don't need to watch it, but like this is real life, it's what we're doing. I feel so much better. I took a nice long shower. I put a little bit of makeup on. I didn't wash my hair, but like later on I'm gonna put some dry shampoo. But yeah, I'm feeling so much more clean and better. I vacuumed, so the house looks cleaner. I'm gonna light some candles and tidy up, do the rest of the dishes, eat some lunch, and then I'll be good to go.
Oh.
And look who it is.
Good timing.
Hi.
What's up?
I was just filming because I vacuumed and I got changed.
Oh. Thanks for vacuuming.
You're welcome. Boo's so happy now.
Boo, were you sleeping in the bed?
How was your workout?
Good. Aaron's took longer than my workout.
Oh, really?
Well, I had so many stops to make, so it's like drive, park, drive, park, drive, park, so I was like doing a bunch of things. Okay, so I just told Alex this and she said you might as well say it on camera. I don't like to get super political on camera because I know it's so controversial with everyone, but I just thought it would be such an interesting thing to point out. Our federal election is on Monday, which is really soon because today's Friday for us, but right now we have a Liberal Party government in the country, and so they're hoping to win re-election. But it's just funny that they're one of like the super pro-environment parties, and they're the only one that 3 days in a row now has put unrecyclable printed plastic stuff like this in our mailbox 3 days in a row. So it's just, it's kind of like my whole thoughts on the environment in general.
And politics in general.
And politics is like they're trying to make it look like other parties are not as for the environment as they might be. And that was one of Justin Trudeau's like main policies in 2015 when he won, was how pro-environment he was. And it's just so ironic that like they're the only party we've received anything in the mail from, and it's this unrecyclable stuff that is really, really unnecessary. So, and I've said this to Alex before too, even like politics aside, companies, businesses, they put all this like printed plastic, unrecyclable paper in our mailbox all the time. And no one really changes their mind on sales with that stuff. Like we get furniture information, food sales, like very few people actually use that stuff anymore. Most stuff is done online. Why doesn't the government ban those kinds of advertisement? And then all the money companies spend on printing those things could be put towards finding ways to be more sustainable in their own company. It just seems like there's so many little solutions like that seem so simple. But again, I just thought it was really ironic that like they're the only ones that have been putting it in our mailbox.
And Dan's not saying to like bash them, he's just saying it's hypocritical.
Yeah, I'm not saying like don't vote for them and like whatever, but it's just so, it's like the most pro-environment ones kind of sometimes make the dumbest solutions or like make the simplest mistakes. I just thought it was pretty funny that I remember now 3 days in a row, only the Liberal Party has been putting that stuff in our mailbox.
If you're from the US, the Liberal Party is basically like the Democrats.
Yeah, so we don't really have
more socialist.
Yeah, we don't really have a two-party system in Canada, if you're confused. Right now in this election, we have basically 6 major parties you could vote for plus independents. And there's a few other throwaway parties that There's one actually called the Rhinoceros Party. It's a complete, basically like throwaway joke at how politics is in general. It's been in Canada since I think like the 80s. And their leader is a rhinoceros from a zoo. It's a complete joke. But anyways, yeah, so our Liberal Party is by no means like the most liberal or left-leaning party in Canada, but hence the name Liberal. They're more of like a Democratic Party. All right, it's stew making time. So I got everything out here that I need. Only thing that I left in the fridge is the white wine. And I cut this up into fairly big chunks, maybe into like 3 or 4 pieces. Really hard sear on them, get nice and crusty on the bottom. Cut up the vegetables into fairly big bite-sized pieces, including the potatoes. After this is seared, take it out, then saute the vegetables, super high heat. Get some really nice fond or crust on the bottom of the pot. Add a couple of spices to toast and some flour just to kind of cook out a roux, then deglaze with white wine. Add the beef broth, add the tomato paste, couple other spices, and then let it simmer for a few hours. All right, so as you can see, we're getting some nice color on the pieces of meat. I was able to get 5 big pieces out of that roast. Look at all that nice crust on the bottom though. Once we add the veggies, it's gonna get even more crusty on the bottom, and that's where all the good flavor comes from. So when I cook vegetables in a big pot like this, like a chili or something, I always start with the firmer ones because they take a bit longer to cook. So I'm gonna go with these 2 first, couple of minutes, then do the celery, then do the onions and peppers, and at the very last second the garlic, because the garlic will cook like that. And if you overdo it, burnt garlic tastes really bitter. So you want to do that like not too much. All right, so the meat's gonna come out and I'm gonna keep it on the plate, cut it into smaller pieces and throw it back in the end. But if we move one, you can see, look at all that fond on the bottom of the pot. That's exactly what you want. Nice and crusty. All right, so potatoes are gonna go in first. You just wanna be careful you don't splash yourself because there is hot oil in there. Come on, get out, there we go. And then we're gonna go in with the carrots. You actually don't want to stir them too much for at least a couple of minutes because you want to develop that nice crust on the bottom of some of them. Then after 2-3 minutes, when they get nice and brown on the bottom, then you can start stirring them. So you can see on the bits of some of the potatoes, I just stirred it. Some of them are kind of blackish brownish, which is perfect. So I'm going to add the celery. I'm actually going to do the onions and peppers too because there's not that much celery. Okay, so vegetables are in. Again, you don't want to stir it constantly. You want to kind of let it sit. A minute, 2 minutes, let it crust up on the bottom, give it a stir, let the rest crust up. And it's important too to make sure you have adequate amounts of oil in the pot, otherwise your fond on the bottom will burn. You don't want it to burn, you just want it to get nice and brown. So add a bit of oil if it looks dry, let these crust up, and I'm gonna probably stir it once or twice more. Then we're gonna deglaze with the white wine, which I can't film because I have to do it with one hand, or with 2 hands, but basically when you add a bit of liquid to a really hot pot like this, it'll sizzle up really nice and you can scrape off the bottom, like really aggressively scrape with a wooden spoon, and all that fond will mix with the liquid and that's gonna be all your flavor. Okay, so I didn't film those last few steps because it all happens way too quick. I didn't have time to like do camera and come back and whatever, but everything's in the pot and it's looking really good and it smells incredible. When it comes to the amount of liquid you want in total, that's kind of up to your judgment. Some people like a more liquidy stew, some people like less. I find if it's just enough to barely cover everything that's in there, it should be good because it'll tighten up as it cooks, especially with that flour that I put in that toasted for a couple of minutes. Really gonna thicken up that broth, so it should be good. We'll see you in a couple hours.
Catty Cat's here and she's bending over to eat stew. Why don't you just lift up the bowl?
I'm not sure.
Well, she doesn't want to touch it with her nails.
Oh yeah, that's probably why.
No, boo.
Okay, look, I could do it. Mmm. It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Hi,
I
boo.
love stew. It's like one of my favorite
I
foods.
love it when it's cold out. Like,
Stew is and like chili.
I know.
Yeah.
One of those things
You eat like 3 or 4 spoons and then
you
you
just feel
yeah,
warm.
you feel it like soak into your body.
Yeah.
Our friends actually canceled for dinner because they're both really sick. They were like, we're just gonna stay home.
Look how much nail polish I got on my fingers.
I can't tell.
Really? Oh my god, it's everywhere.
Oh yeah. Is it focused?
Look at my face in the background. I'm like,
But yeah, so our friends canceled because they're both really sick, so we are just gonna dance. What did Dan say again? Because yes, we get
yes, we get to eat all the stew.
And I was like, were we not gonna eat it before? He's like, yeah, but now we get it to ourselves. Like, what? So Catherine painted her nails the same color I did earlier, and it's called Nailed It from Essie. Really nice color.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
because
can
we're
change
filming
that
on
in
the
Lightroom.
phone because we forgot our camera, but it's so pretty to not film. This trail is beautiful.
Look how many leaves are on the ground.
Again, we're talking about leaves.
We only talk about leaves.
This is a place we came to walk right. Do you remember right after we moved in? We had no furniture. We were like sitting on the floor and we said, let's go for a walk. And we came down here. We turned the corner down that hill and we saw
There was
the
like
wild.
a million turkeys.
Yeah, there were wild turkeys. And I thought for a split second it was going to be a bear.
Oh God.
Because they like jumped out of the bushes and then flew.
He was so happy.
Look at how many leaves. Look at this.
I know, it's crazy.
You kick them up and there's still leaves under you.
Boo. It's crazy because on camera it looks kind of green, the leaves.
Well, it's pretty green out there actually. Like this tree's green on the bottom.
Should we go down or should we go straight?
That's a dead end eventually.
Okay, so let's go down
So
here.
we'll go this way. There's just a lot of water.
Oh, it was after a chipmunk. Oh no!
I tripped on a stick.
Careful where you're walking. Oh, but we wanted to see if you're okay.
So?
Freaking good.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
We just got back from our little walk.
Amazing. I don't know, I'm like stirring it with like two things. It's like
It's not a salad. You don't have to toss
The
it.
potatoes are really good.
Is there still a bit of bite to it? It's not like super mush?
Mmm. It's so good.
Yay.
No, yeah, you can bite it.
This is the final product.
You can bite
He
it.
said, is there bite to it? And I said, yeah, you can bite it.
Because like I like when the carrots and the potatoes
I know
still
what you
have like a
mean,
bit
but-
of a crunch.
I said, you're like stupid.
Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to bed, but Alex is watching. Is it a Shane Dawson video about Jeffree Star? Okay.
It's like, this is, ow! Oh my God, my hair's stuck to my shirt.
What a
It
fail.
looks like the scary movie with the ghost pulling me.
Oh yeah, we just watched Eli on
Ow.
Netflix.
This
Okay, well I wasn't sure if it was a Jeffree Star video with Shane Dawson, but it's a Shane Dawson video.
Yeah, this was the $20 million deal with Jeffree Star.
Oh my gosh.
Can't relate in any way. At all.
Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.